Conversation. It's a cafe conversation in the ladies' room. 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 A cafe conversation in the ladies' room.
Hello, welcome back to the cafe with Cafe Conversations with the ladies, Bella Reese and Juicy. How you doing today, Juicy?
I'm doing fine.
You
I'm
look.
swinging my new
I
hairdo.
love it. I
Thank you so
love
much.
it. I'm just saying, you just went all out today, right?
I
You
kind of
just had
did.
to do it because the sun was
You
shining
know what
for a little
happened?
bit. What happened?
I was feeling the pearls and the chucks
Ah,
and the VP,
I see.
the new president, the new year 2021.
Whoop.
So I'm new
All
today.
right,
A
all
little
right.
brand new, a little bit.
I hear that. I hear that.
All
You
right.
know, well, I'm so happy we all made it back. I'm gonna tell you what. I really did enjoy the inauguration yesterday. Did you watch it?
Uh, I was in the eye
Some of it.
doctor. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I did
I
watch
didn't. I
it.
watched replays of it. I sure did because the
Okay.
phenomenal young lady that did the poem, it was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
And then the speeches and things. I watched the snippets of
Okay.
it. Sorry.
It was. I thought it was fabulous.
I
thought it was
heard. I
great.
heard it was
I
fabulous.
just I was really beside, and I actually watched it all day. Like, okay,
I would
I
have.
I started watching from when Trump left office yesterday. Okay, I did. I watched him come out, and he stopped at the press, and he said whatever, and then he got in the helicopter, and then they followed the helicopter and everything like that, and then you know, and then his playlist. Okay, he had a playlist. Yes, he did. He had
Oh
a
no, he
playlist.
didn't.
He did. And I listened to the playlist and all like that. And then the plane took off to I Did It My Way. And I was like, seriously? I was like, you sure did. You sure did.
Sharice.
Okay?
Did you
But
just did you just sing that like
I'm just saying, I just had to share it because that was the
that was the
scene.
song?
Like, just he literally was taking off, and the song was like, "I did it my way," and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Lord
I was like,
have
"All right,
mercy.
but que sera. Have a safe trip to Florida. God bless you.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
And stuff." But big ups to Kamala. She looked beautiful.
Yeah, I bet.
Beautiful. Oh, girl, she had on not color. She had on purple.
She had on purple.
Yes, she did.
Oh,
I
know
felt
she was
I
beautiful.
felt so empowered.
You felt connected.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. And it was gorgeous. It was
That's
gorgeous.
nice.
She spoke so eloquently. She looked
Okay.
wonderful. And then shout out to Howard University and all like that. Ain't you? They look marvelous. Bringing her out during the parade and everything. I was very, very, very happy yesterday because we actually showed out. We showed up and we showed
out.
Yes, we did.
Got
yes,
it.
we did. And
How was my man Joe Biden?
he looked good.
He looked
Actually,
good?
he looked good.
Okay.
I watched the concert last night too, and I must say his fireworks display beat any 4th of July fireworks I've ever seen in my life.
That was nice.
It was fire. It was fire.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I had a whole Facebook conversation with my friends
Mm.
about the ball that we wanted to attend after the inauguration.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were trying to attend that ball, but we didn't ever make it. And some of us had wardrobe malfunctions, couldn't fit their shoes. I needed a bigger pocketbook to put my flip flops in because you can't dance in the heels all night.
Right.
Then we wanted to drink, so who was gonna drive? I told them, don't worry about it. I got Lyft.
Got you.
So it was a whole
I got you.
big performance that we had. We all took naps before.
Ah.
Yeah, and everybody was laying out their hair and their dress. so they could put it on
Ooh,
when it's time to go.
nice. Okay, I
You know
was
how we do.
I was just listening. I had some nachos on the sofa with some water, and I was good. I was
Yeah.
good.
No,
you
we
know.
were all good. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody was happy because
Yeah, I mean,
that
it was a proud.
prior reign is over.
It was that, and it was a proud woman, a proud moment for women yesterday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I felt
and
that way.
I'm sorry. That's what Metamorphosis is about. You know, we're about women's empowerment, and
Yes.
she was the epitome of women's empowerment yesterday.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She represented. So Kamala, we love you. We stand behind you. We're here for you, girl, because we know you going to represent us like no other.
There you go.
You know, like no other. And hopefully, maybe one day we'll bring you to Cafe Conversations, and you can have a conversation with us. You know, I mean,
I ain't gonna say it
listen,
ain't gonna happen either.
That's what I'm talking
We
about.
got 4 years. Let's
There
get
you
it
go.
popping.
There you go.
let's
I'm
get it.
gonna send out the
Rack-a-lackin'.
email right after the show.
There you
right
go.
after the show.
There you go.
Well, tonight, you all, we have another special guest with us. She'll be checking in with us shortly. We have Dr. Michelle Strongfields.
Yes.
And I'm so happy to have her with us because tonight we're going to be talking about something that we all can relate to. Male, female, chicken, bird, turkey, hamster, whatever you got.
Chicken, bird, turkey.
We all know, okay? Tonight, we are going to be talking about stress and how to cope and manage our stress. And considering the state of our country lately and all the things that had been going on, I'm sure, I know I did have quite a lot of stress about how this all was going to turn out, how it was going to work out, how did it affect me, you know what I'm saying, how I was going to handle it and everything like that. So on top of our everyday stresses, we had that extra, you know?
Yes.
And I also thought it would be a wonderful time considering we are in the midst of our women's empowerment health.
Don't talk
you know,
about it.
preparation for our Women's Empowerment Health Challenge coming up on February 1st. That is Monday, February 1st. You know, we're going to be embarking on this. And I have some stress about that.
I have extreme stress about that. I have continuous stress about that. I have
Aw.
stress about this new hairdo right now
What?
too. I need a
Aw.
clip, but
Oh,
I'll work it
'cause
out.
it's in your face. You know, like that.
Whatever. And then
you got that Aaliyah look. You're like, just
yeah, you know,
throw it back a little.
I gotta figure out how to work it because you know
Wait,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
have
do a
to.
little kiss to the camera.
I won't do that. I might get in trouble. So
know?
I have a stress about this chair I'm sitting in. So if I fall out of it,
So
if I fall out of it, no one laughs.
yeah, so you know, I think it's
Kadriana, do not laugh.
Then I think, you know, our show tonight, Relax, Relate, Release, Coping with Stress, is appropriate for what's going on with us at the moment.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely am looking forward to getting into that. But truth be told, let's get through the preliminaries and
Okay.
then we can we're waiting for Dr. Strongfields to join us, and
we
as soon
can
as she
talk
does,
about
we can
a
talk
little
about
bit of stress
a little bit of stress and everything.
and how we're
So,
gonna overcome it and relax.
iced
Musa.
tea.
What? You can't have no iced tea.
Wait, what? It didn't start yet. We
No
said
sweet tea,
February
Latrice.
1st. No sweet tea, just iced tea with lemon.
Unsweetened.
No, ooh.
I just said no sweet tea.
No, I don't want sweet tea. I want
No,
iced tea.
we
with
had this
lemon. It's
conversation
different.
already.
It's different.
It's
That's because
sugar
you-
in your iced tea.
It's not sugar.
Oh, you know what I had, Sharice?
What?
I had, because I'm going to blow my spot right up like I always do.
Listen.
We were
We
at
amongst family.
Cheesecake Factory yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
Serious?
So, yeah, I
you
ordered
didn't
I ordered a
order?
Chinese chicken salad, which was very nice.
But you went to the
But
Cheesecake
wait.
family.
I had for something to drink, right? I
Uh-huh.
had cucumber lemonade.
Mm.
It was amazing.
Was it? Was it sweet?
So I wanted to bring an extra cup of it home,
okay.
right? But I was told, no, learn how to make it and make it yourself. I said, oh, okay.
Hmm.
I guess he didn't
Cucumber
want to pay
lemonade.
for it.
That sounds really good.
It was really good. So we're gonna try to make it.
Yes, absolutely. We need to find a recipe for that.
Yes.
Because I like cucumbers and I like
I do
lemonade.
too.
I mean, I would never think of putting them together.
Girl, bye. It's good.
Hmm.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. That
Did
other
you
stuff
have
I
that
drank,
along with a salad?
I sure did. And I wanted seconds, but I wanted seconds of the drink, not the salad. But I didn't.
You know what I made yesterday, which was
What?
really good? It's apple slaw.
Oh yeah,
And it's
I heard
made
of
with
that.
kale, apple, carrots, and then
Yes.
it had like a poppy seed dressing.
Yes,
It was
I like that. I've had that.
delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. And I was like, oh, I can get with this.
All right.
You know, I can get with this and everything. But
Okay.
just
What you gonna go?
we're gonna move on with the preliminaries.
Go ahead. You
Okay.
got it.
First and foremost, Everybody Eats is on the road again, of course. We just want to let you know if you know of anyone, if you yourself or anyone you know is in need of assistance with food, Everybody Eats is still available to help. Okay, we definitely want to share a little love. You know, a little love goes a long way, and you know, we got a little love for you. Okay,
We got
well,
love for
I'm
everybody. We got
I'm
love for
plus
everybody.
size, so I got a lot of love for you. But I'm just saying, there's
And
some
I'm
love
plus
here
plus.
for you. You know, but by all means, if you need to reach out to us, you can reach us by phone at 570-223-4503, or you can reach us by email at info at metamorphosiswei.org. Okay, metamorphosiswei.org. Okay, or you can go to our Everybody Eats Facebook page and send us a message there. We'll get it. It comes right to my phone. You know, I'm talking to you guys from my phone and everything. Even at night when I'm asleep and all like that, I try not to leave any call unanswered. So I definitely, look forward to, being there for you guys. But yeah,
And we will be
Everybody
feeding
Eats-
families tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And stuff. So, and
Deliveries free.
Yeah.
Three
yeah,
families
three
tomorrow.
families tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll
Which
be
is
all right.
good. Which is good for a Friday and
Yeah.
everything. So, if you do know of anyone who needs assistance, please tell them to reach out to us before Thursday. Our delivery days are Friday mornings, and
Yes.
we definitely would like to do what we can to help them. So I hear that our guest is here, Dr. Strongfields.
Hello, I'm here.
Good
Hey,
evening.
how are
How are
you?
you?
I'm really well, thank you.
Great, great.
Good to be here.
You too. Good to see you also.
Can you see us?
I can see you. Can you see me?
I
No.
cannot see you.
Oh, there
So
you
you
go.
mean-
There you go.
You mean I wasted doing my hair?
No,
and
I
the-
see you now. I see you. I
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Hey,
No,
how
you
y'all
didn't
doing?
waste doing your hair.
see you.
I didn't do it anyway. I'm just kidding. Hey,
There you are. That's okay. You're beautiful anyway. That's all that counts.
thank you.
Well, thank
She's
you.
never met us in
No,
person. I know
not
she
in
spoke to you on the phone.
Not yet.
She only spoke
And
to me,
so,
so introduce.
yeah, we've had a couple of conversations, and we've been in touch now. How long, Dr. Strongfield? Maybe about 6 months?
Maybe, yeah. It seems like longer. I feel like I know you.
I probably met you longer ago than that. But yeah, for the last 6 months, we've been in touch and everything. But she has a lot to
She doesn't know
offer.
me.
No, not yet.
Right now.
Not yet. So, you're going to introduce yourself? Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Because, I don't want to talk to her without her knowing who I am.
Dr.
Okay.
Dr.
let's
Strongfield,
go.
how are you?
I'm fine.
I'm Samantha, a.k.a. Juicy, for Cafe Conversation.
Hey, Juicy.
Co-hosting with my girl over here, Sharice.
Okay, don't call me Dr. Strongfield.
Okay, so what are we calling you?
What do we call you?
I don't know. The kids that I work with call me Dr. Michelle. My daughter calls me Doc. I mean, Michelle, we're peers.
Okay.
Let's not be real formal.
So can we go
Formality
with Michelle?
is the killer of all things.
We'll definitely do Michelle.
All right.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
go with
Great.
Michelle.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Michelle. We have a lot of people interested in hearing what you can offer us in terms of helping us manage our stress, because these are stressful times with COVID-19 going on, and you know everything that just happened with elections and presidency, and you know at the Capitol and like that, and then our just our everyday life.
Yes.
You know,
Oh.
I'm sure people's stress levels have been
Yeah,
out of control. I know mine has been off the charts.
really.
You know, and I'm so happy that you're here to help us, talk a little bit about some of the causes of those stresses, how, they affect us physically, particularly us as
Okay.
women, how stress affects us. Maybe we could even talk a little bit about how it's different for us than from men, how it affects us differently than men.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I heard that stress can cause your midsection in a woman to get bigger. Is that correct, Michelle?
They talk about stress hormones and particularly cortisone. There's some others that may have some impact on your adipose deposits.
I'm sure it's had an effect on mine.
But
I just saying.
well, let me tell you
I'm
something.
just saying.
I could
I'm just
probably
saying. I
let
had to bring that out there.
this is not my area of expertise, but I have written a series of
Hmm.
things. I did a series on health and black women over 40. Now
Okay.
I don't presume to know your age range, but I was
We
really writing that for myself.
we
Honest.
way over 40.
Okay. Well then join the club, sis.
There you
Join
go.
so and we're thankful to be upright.
That's
I'm
right.
thankful to be
That's
breathed,
right.
drawing another breath.
Me
I'm
too.
glad to be here.
I am too. I am
Absolutely.
too. I have been close to death. I'm happy and praising him
Yeah,
every day.
well, that I had a stroke talking about
Hmm.
stress.
You had a
Hmm.
It
stroke,
was a few
Michelle?
years ago. Yeah, and and it was a direct result, I think, in retrospect to the level of stress that I was dealing with at
Yes.
the time, which is what happens.
Right.
This happens with black women in particular because we oftentimes we succumb to this whole notion of being, this black superwoman and
Yeah.
we got to do all things, we got to be all things for all people. We're often in the role of caretakers for,
Yes.
our
Right.
children.
Yes.
There's a
Husbands,
statistic that
dogs.
that black women are usually the primary
Caregivers.
breadwinner,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
primary
Yes.
breadwinner in a family, or if not the primary or only breadwinner, our
Hmm.
partners, we make the same or equal amounts of money. And so the loss of one income or another will be pretty devastating. Now, compound that with what's happening with Corona.
Hmm.
You know, Black women are who? The first line workers. We work in department stores. We work in supermarkets. We work, in the service industry. So who was impacted?
Right.
So now we're this single income person or um or the one a double income, but you rely on both incomes equally. Now
Hmm.
you're home, so there's stress. Your kids are home, they're stressed out. We're talking, at some one point at another time, maybe we'll talk about the particular impact that it has on children. This whole thing, and I'm saying this
Wow.
as a
Yes.
grandma with two of her grandkids here, three of her grandkids here homeschooling. So hello, I could talk to
Yeah.
you about that one too.
Yeah.
I
I
My.
don't,
was
and I didn't even think of like stress. I mean, I was thinking of stress on us women, like for the reasons you brought up, but I didn't even
mhm.
think of stress and how it would affect our children.
Oh yeah.
Not being in school, not being with their peers. What if they're an
Yeah,
only child? Then the only social interaction they had was the kids in school.
My 5-year-old
absolutely.
grandson said to me, "Nana, do you remember me?" And I felt like
Oh,
crying.
you haven't seen them
I
because of
haven't seen them in a while, but I FaceTime them and I talk to them, but it's not the same for him.
it's
Yeah.
There's
not.
no, I pick him up all the time. I hug him, I kiss him, whenever he comes over, I baby him, and
Yeah.
I baby all of them. But he, because he can't see me, even though
Yeah.
he's seeing me FaceTime,
Right.
he's thinking, that I don't remember him, and I'm like, oh my God.
He's 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
he's
what
5.
is he?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to unpack about. Not only, do we already have to deal with the systemic problems that come with being a black woman in this country.
Right.
We have to also deal with the fact that there's a global pandemic. There's rampant unemployment. Who gets impacted primarily?
Right.
Black women. Um, we already are very hair triggered, sensitized to stress. So things like excess cortisol release from our adrenal glands, which is the stress hormone, and that affects your whole entire body. Now, sometimes we need us a little stress. For example, you hear some creaking in the night, you need that cortisol to be released so we could run, right?
Right.
Or so we could prepare to defend ourselves.
Right.
That's called fight or flight, right? We know about
Okay.
that. So some levels of stress in our bodies are excellent. They're good. They're protective of us and the people that we love.
Mm.
But to be under a continuous assault of the stress hormones in our body is deleterious. It's detrimental. It affects your cardiovascular system. It affects your respiratory system. It begins to affect your neurological system. That's like so is it any wonder that black women no like they talk about the angry black woman. Well, is it any wonder? You're under stress all the time. You're gonna snap out
Right.
Yeah.
So when
with very little provocation sometimes because you're tired, because you're not sleeping well, you're not eating well, or you're eating all the wrong things, and that adds to it. So yeah.
so when you
So
when
go. I'm
stress
sorry. Go ahead, honey. Go
I'm
ahead. Go
sorry,
ahead.
when stress hits the neurological, that's when it
Your nervous system.
yeah, but that's when the stroke can occur, correct?
Well, it can. There are lots of causes for stroke, but that certainly is one of them.
Okay.
Because you're like a stroke is in the brain as opposed to a
Right.
heart attack,
Right.
right? So you get a blood vessel that either bursts or you get a blood clot. So imagine all these things already happening to your cardiovascular system. Everything in the body's connected. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? You
Right.
drink some water, at some point it's gonna travel through
Through the
every
system.
cell in the body. You gotta,
Absolutely.
winding up in the kidney, flushing it out,
Right.
hopefully.
Right.
But before then, that water has an impact on the cells in your body.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a heart cell, it could be, that's why when you get dehydrated from not enough water,
Mhm.
that impacts the entire body.
Right.
So everything we do, things don't happen in isolation. They happen systemically,
Mm-hmm.
systematically.
Right.
We got to start thinking like that. We got to think holistically. So if I'm letting this little kid run around driving me crazy, screaming and cursing, my cardiovascular system is responding.
Right.
Our heart rate goes up. The heart rate goes up, makes blood flow increase. Maybe my vessels are a little constricted, and so it's going to constrict a little bit, and so a clot forms because the blood is not flowing properly. That clot gets a chance to go. Maybe it doesn't hit my brain. Maybe I don't have a stroke. Maybe it causes a problem in one of my limbs.
Right.
Maybe it affects my digestive system. But the fact is that one difficulty someplace is going to have an impact someplace else unless we address it.
I
And
see.
it's
So
funny that you.
let me get off my soapbox right
No,
now.
we
Let's chat.
no, we need you up there. We
No,
need you up
no,
there.
no. I mean that actually what you're saying is true, and it's hitting right the nail on the head. It's hitting the nail on the head. Because you said that you previously had a stroke, and last year I ended up in the hospital because I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy,
Ah,
and it was stress related,
okay.
and it was out of control, and they thought
They thought
I
it was a
had
stroke.
they
Yeah.
thought I had a
You
stroke.
had the droopy mouth, the
I-
arm didn't
my-
work.
The left side of my
Yes.
face,
Yes.
and it just came on. I woke up in the morning, and my eye felt a little, a
Mhm.
little heavier than usual.
Yes.
And then it was sort of like, and I'm feeling my face, and I'm not really, one side felt a little bit
Hmm.
different than the other side. And then when I went into the bathroom and I looked in the mirror, I was like, wait, something doesn't look right. It just didn't look right. And I took a picture and I sent it to my friend, and I was like, tell me if you see a difference in my face. And he
Hmm.
did. And it was like, okay.
I gotta
And
go.
I went
Yeah.
to the doctor. I went to the hospital, and I was there, and they did a CAT scan and everything like that. And praise the Lord, it was not a stroke, but they were, I was treated for Bell's palsy and everything. And ever since then, I've tried to be mindful of how I'm dealing with it.
Yes.
Dealing with what? Stress?
Stress.
Okay.
Yeah, dealing with stress, because it's like I'm that person. I get stressed out and I'll become a recluse. I'll pull back from everybody. I don't want to talk. I don't
Mhm.
want to converse. I don't want to do all I want to do. I want to climb in my bed. I want to turn out the lights. I want to stick my head under the pillow, pull that blanket up, and that's it. Just leave me there, and whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? If I get through it, I get through it. And if I don't, at the moment, I don't care.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know but I also know that's not a good way to cope with it either,
No.
because
It's not
that's
gonna
how
solve anything.
well, that, and also too, like, I just happen to be one of the people who can come out of that funk when I'm in it. But you have many people who cannot get out of that
That's
funk
right.
and may possibly end up committing suicide because they
It's
can't
called
handle.
it's called depression.
Depression,
It's called.
Exactly.
yeah, that's where
You
you go
know.
first.
But
So.
let me tell you something, sis.
Mhm.
You can crawl under that pillow and that, but get under that blanket and cover up for a couple of days. You earn it. Don't deny yourself that opportunity, because that might be what you need to heal for that period of time.
Right.
There you go. Like I gotta snap out of it. I can't afford to be ill. I can't afford to feel sad. I
Mhm.
can't
Yeah.
afford.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's feeding into that syndrome that many black women fall into. And
Right.
it's not because we want to, it's because that's the role that we're thrust that has been thrust upon us
Right.
Mhm.
many times. So you said something earlier about, you know um, being mindful and taking care of self. There's nothing wrong at all. We're made to think sometimes that it's selfish, or we see these silly women on TV who go overboard with whatever, and we're like, nah, that's not me. I could
Uh-huh.
never do that. But you know what? We need to take a page out of some books and do some self reflection, and some say, you know what? I do deserve a day. I
Mhm.
deserve a few hours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Please, I'm gonna lock my door. Let me tell you something. Thank goodness for bathrooms with
Yeah.
Mhm.
locks on them.
Right.
Yeah. Take a bubble
Cause
bath.
And
yeah,
or
because you
just a
gotta
deep
do
breath.
A
something
deep
for
breath.
self.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, who will? Because let me tell you what happened to a friend of mine. I laugh now because she survived, but
Mhm.
she doing everything for everybody. She went to catch a bus. She's helping people, and she fell out at the bus stop.
Oh
Mhm.
And she
wow.
said she couldn't speak. I don't know. I don't. We never found out if it was a stroke, because being the superwoman that she was, after everybody stepped over her to get on the bus, I swear to
Jesus.
you, they left
Oh
my
my
girl
God.
laid out on
Wow.
the
Oh my
on the
God.
Wow.
pavement.
Oh.
When she came to, she may have had a seizure of some kind. We never found out. She got up. What did she do? Picked her stuff up.
And kept on
Thankfully,
foot.
nobody robbed her and kept going. So
Mhm.
she never went to the doctor to find out what in the heck happened to her. But
What?
she didn't. Right. I'm
Oh
still
my
cursing her out
God.
years later after that happened. But
Oh
this
my
is what
Lord.
we do. This is
Well,
what we
yeah,
do. She's like, I can't afford to be stretched out on this corner
yeah,
and not doing well. I got to get up.
yeah.
And I mean that alone, like, just the idea of going to the doctor to find out that there may be something else wrong. And I say something else is because, like I said, you know, women in general, we are just charged with the task of, let's run this house,
Mm-hmm.
run this
Yep.
house, run the job, run the kids, and then yourself, and everything we
That's
go
right.
through. We talked about the fact of women and stress in women over 40. Well, I'm over 40, and I know, even though my kids are older now, my level of stress has it's decreased, but it's also changed.
Uh-huh.
you know my concerns have changed, so my stressors have now changed. And what I find is, where when I was stressed out when I was younger, there were things that I did to relieve that stress, that I'm not doing those things now.
We're
Okay.
gonna talk
I hear
about
you.
that.
I
I'm
hear
not
you
doing
and
We're
say
gonna
no
talk
more.
about that.
So it's sort of like, okay, so now how else do I relieve stress?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I pray on it. I try to talk about it, but the truth of the matter is, everybody has some level of stress. So like,
Absolutely.
my friends really don't want to hear what I'm stressing about, because they got their own stuff that they stressing
You
about.
know, I find that to be real because
Yes.
I. Oh Jesus! Why is that my husband? That is him. But okay. So
Your stress level
sorry,
just
my stress level right there. Because I know he want me to do something. But I found I stress over other people
Mhm.
okay.
more so than I stress over myself.
Okay.
And then I expect other people then to figure out that I'm stressed and stop bothering me. And that doesn't work.
No.
That
Then
does not work.
that doesn't
That
work.
does not work.
That
sis.
doesn't
No.
work
Not at all.
because, like you said, nobody wants to hear about your stresses.
Right.
But that's
They
not
want you to be
necessarily true, sis. That's not
well.
necessarily true. You find yourself a group of here we are
Well,
having
I
a
didn't
chat
have the
about it
group
now.
yet.
Okay.
I have a little
Oh,
group now, but
now
back
you
in the
do.
day, I didn't have the
Great.
group, so it was hard to relieve stress by
Here
talking
you
to
go.
other
Yeah.
people
Right.
because nobody you knew that other people had stress as well, so
Right.
you didn't want to burden them. And I
Yes.
think they kind of, some people don't really want to hear, but now that they know what stress can do to a person, some people do just listen.
Yes.
They may not even respond or they may not offer you any type of advice.
But just
They
give you
just
the
listen,
platform.
and that does help you with the stresses
Yeah.
because you're allowed to, talk about it with someone or whatever. But yeah, I noticed that it's not that easy with the
Here,
stress.
may I jump in? Here's the
Sure.
thing. I want you
Absolutely.
two wonderful women, because now, and here we are. You've both admitted we're all over 40. we we can be the women for a younger woman
Right.
that we needed to have. We
Yep.
can be for some other young sister who's operating under the same misconceptions and crazy stress and fallacies that we operated under.
Yeah.
And we can be, somebody said that to me years ago. Be the woman that you needed when you were 15 or 16 or 20 to some other young
True.
sister.
Our
Right.
kids. I have a daughter.
That's one of our gifts to this world. We survive. You got up and started breathing this morning, both of you,
Yep.
all of us.
Yep.
So now that's the gift, and the gift that we can continue to give is find some young woman to share that with.
Yeah.
There's
We have
somebody out there
daughters, right?
saying, "Yeah,"
And we have sons, and both of
and
my kids. We I try to be that person that I didn't have when I was their age. Absolutely. And some people have anxiety attacks. What is that about? I don't have
I
them.
anxiety
have.
attack.
My mother used to have them, I
Yeah,
think.
I get
But
them, and
Yeah, I'm. Psychiatry is not real. I mean, I can give a generic. We all have a
mhm,
notion of anxiety, but again, a lot of it is physiologic. An
mhm,
anxiety attack will provide someone with many physical symptoms that may look like a heart attack.
mhm,
right, right.
mhm.
Many of these physiologic symptoms are because our mind is whatever the trigger is, the mind is powerful. So your body starts releasing those same stress
Hormones,
hormones.
exactly.
You have the same cardiovascular and respiratory symptoms that you might have given another condition.
Right.
So I don't want to go any further than that because that's not my area. I don't want to step on any toes, but
Right.
I've witnessed anxiety attacks and have mistakenly thought that it was attributed to something else and driven a sister to the emergency room. And then the ER doc is like, no, after the EKG and everything. And then that becomes another set of things to deal with.
Well, I know that
Once you rule out the physical.
I've reduced a lot of my stress with the self care thing that you were talking about
Okay.
earlier because I like me.
There you go.
That's right.
So
You
I'm with
better.
you.
You
I'm
I
better.
with you.
I do my hair,
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
do my nails, I do my feet, and I don't want nobody to tell me that I can't, or else I become very stressed.
Because you can.
Right. So
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
that's one of my things with a stress relief. I go by myself to do all of those things. I like massages, and I don't do them that often. My son does do them for me a little bit, but he doesn't do what I really want, which is the full body massage, thing. He'd be like, "Nah, ma, can't do that."
Right. This is weird, Mom. This is
I'd be
weird.
like, "All right," and his father won't do it because he'd be like, "Come on now, I ain't doing that." I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go out and get it done
So-
and released."
So we are subject though to different kinds of stress, and you touched on it a little bit earlier in the conversation, Michelle, when you were talking about like the fight or flight, which is
Mhm.
attributed to eustress. So like,
Yes.
um, in a case where we are thinking of our safety. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yep.
That eustress puts us in protection mode, or your wedding day.
Ooh,
Think about it. Think about it. It's like
I can't
I know
remember.
Me either.
I know I was stressed on my wedding day.
I didn't have that stressful wedding.
No, it wasn't stressful at all. I was just
I thought it was.
nervous. I was just nervous about being a new bride and having
Oh.
a husband now and all that kind of. If I was gonna actually be a good wife,
See, I didn't
and those,
stress about
those
that.
are good. Those are good things to stress about.
They are. I just didn't have them. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I-
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have those.
And you're right. And
I
you're
was
right,
good.
Sharice. That's called you stress.
Mhm.
But the
called
stress
eustress.
that we've been talking about is distress.
Yes.
Oh.
Distress.
That's the hard stuff, the stuff that you don't want to have a lot of. And even though this is life, that thing life, we gonna have distress. But you want to try to make your stresses something, things that are manageable, if as much as you can,
Mhm.
and move it from one area to another. Move it from that red end of the spectrum down to, a manageable amber or something.
So does that mean talk about it? So you
Well,
can.
what does it mean to you? Does it mean pray about it? Does it
Mhm.
mean,
I mean, I
find a
pray every day.
counselor? Yeah, does it
Yeah.
mean find, does it find a counselor? Does it mean find a support group, formal or informal? Does it mean for some people it means exercising 5 days a week?
True.
I happily am not in that group, but but for some of my friends it works and it helps.
And
Um
it's funny
for
that
some people, you got to find whatever. I have friends, I have a whole group of friends who are crafters, and they will get some cloth or some wood or something and just be in their basements or their craft room and do that. So whatever it is for you,
I
you
see.
have to find it.
Oh.
it's funny that she actually brought up, about exercising and things like that because all right, so part of our stress right now is
Yes.
that we're about to embark come February 1st. We're about to embark on the Metamorphosis Women's Empowerment Health Challenge.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead, sisters.
And pretty much there's no
Yes.
time frame on it, but
Okay.
what we want to do is just start promoting healthier lifestyles,
Okay.
and stuff.
Incorporating good
And
eating with
yes,
exercise.
incorporating good eating with exercise,
Great.
um maybe a little bit of some walking, some yoga. We're trying to
Some
incorporate a couple of
Zumba.
things. Yeah, for
Do
a
do
little
you
bit of
have people
everybody.
lined up? Because I have a wonderful woman named Melanie Marchand who works with sisters over 50 or
Nice.
40 or 40 if you yeah.
Uh-oh.
But she does, so it's not like that wild crazy exercise stuff where you like, this is
Okay.
like being realistic about who you are, where you're starting in your life.
Mhm.
She is a fabulous woman. I mean, I'm not trying to promote, but I am trying to promote.
No,
I'm just
that
saying
And what does
she's
she do?
very, very, I would not recommend her were I not just totally in love with her and her approach,
Oh, wonderful.
because
Okay.
she's a woman, of a certain age, and she knows what it feels like and has ailments and
Right.
approaches it in that way.
She approaches healthy exercising and eating, or oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah. She does a number of
That's a
things,
healthy
and she's
exercising.
she's moved her work online. So
Right.
in light of Corona, but I'd be happy to share her contact information with you.
Absolutely. And after the show, yeah, we can actually get her information. I would love to reach out to her. We actually do have someone doing a Zumba class for us the first Friday in February,
I'm
and
in.
yeah, it's awesome. It's going to be a beginner's Zumba class.
Oh,
She's
good.
going to be actually doing it on Zoom from Georgia.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah, from
wow. Okay.
Georgia. So next week, the site will be up. Well, the Facebook page where you can actually register for the class and everything.
Great.
And not only will you be able to register for the Zumba class, you'll once you register, you'll be able to um, be in the support groups to talk about the challenges while we're
There you
doing,
go.
the health challenge. We'll be able to talk about some of
There
our,
you go.
our successes and our failures, our concerns, and, our aches, pains, and whatever the case may be. But it'll be a closed group. So that people feel
Okay.
comfortable and know that, they're in a safe space and we're doing this together. I'm putting myself out there. February 1st, I will actually be weighing in.
And I will, at the end of my challenge, be weighing out because
Okay.
I'm not
you know,
weighing
I'm
in.
proud of y'all though.
Yeah, we trying.
Just to because you set the date, you
hmm
have the target. It's
Yep.
not like I'm gonna start exercise. I'm gonna just get started. No, you set a date. You got your intention out there, and you're moving toward it. I am very proud
Well, thank
of you.
you.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you.
be tuning in and watching.
Okay,
No,
okay.
Absolutely.
Watch
I'm
us.
only
Absolutely.
kidding. I'll
You
It's
know,
gonna be
participate.
funny.
but
I'll participate.
Okay.
That
one of
sounds like fun.
It will
yeah,
be.
and it should be fun. It should be fun. I want it to cause minimum stress. I don't want it to be a stressful situation, but I know me. I aim high.
Okay.
I am that person who, go, all right, I'm taking off the 50 pounds this year. And I think I said this before in another show. I am that person who's like, all right, I need to take off the 50 pounds this year, but I don't quite reach that goal. Or I'll reach it, or some of it, and then go, okay, well, you know what?
I did it.
I did 15. I can reward myself for doing the
Yes.
15, and then I start to get away from what it was I was doing
Yeah.
to get to that 15, and now that 15 is reduced to 10, and now that 10 is 5, and now we're back on January 1st, 2021,
Mhm.
going, I'm going to lose that 50 pounds again this year,
Wow.
but I do get stressed out about it
Yep.
because I'm worried about not reaching that goal. I'm worried that I said, this is what I want to do, and people will be looking for me to do it, and I may not be able to produce the results that, I aimed for.
Well, I was told there's some key words, when embarking on this challenge, and you have to be consistent with what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be persistent,
Mm-hmm.
you have to not beat yourself up so much about it, but you just
Forgive
don't stop
yourself.
and don't quit. Right.
Right. Be
Forgive yourself.
forgiving of
Yeah.
yourself. We are so extra hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And
I'm an
we're
extra hard.
unrelenting on ourselves, aren't
Yeah.
we?
We are.
We're our
We are.
toughest critics.
We are.
We're our toughest critics. And we make mistakes. We make errors. We slip up, and have a piece of cake, and then it's like, oh, I can never do this again.
Yeah, because
Girl, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you, I actually lost weight. I
Okay.
when the last show it was 2 pounds. This
There you
show
go.
it's 7 pounds. This show,
There you go.
Okay.
so I actually lost weight, but I did go to a friend's house and have pork chops, rice and beans, and plantains
And it sounds
on
delicious.
on a saucer plate.
Sounds delicious.
And the people that are coaching me was like, "What are you doing? Don't do it. Run. You can't have it." Yeah. And I said, "I'm being transparent and realistic. This is what I eat on a normal. Like
Right.
I eat Spanish food a lot.
Okay.
I won't eat it as much.
Mhm.
I won't eat as much.
Mhm.
There
But
you
I'm
go.
not going to say that I'm not going to eat it.
Right,
Because
because
I
that's what
am.
you
Right.
like. Why should you deprive yourself?
And then I
Get
have-
up and just run around the block a couple times.
Exactly. Then I have other
It's give and take.
stresses. Like I need to reduce.
That's right.
I told you I need to take away the soda. That I can do
Right.
because I can stay
That's
away
right.
from that forever. Like I don't
That's-
need soda in my life. I need Spanish food in my life.
There you go.
So I can do that. I reduce my milk intake. I love milk.
Mhm.
It's not good, healthy calories. So,
See-
I'm doing some things, but February 1st, we're going to be in it
I need.
hard.
Now, here's the thing. This is why I need the support.
Okay.
Okay, because when I get stressed out, I eat.
Me too.
I eat and
Me
I
too.
shop.
Me too.
Okay,
Me too.
and because
Let me
there-
hold your credit card for you,
Right.
girl, while you going through this.
right, I eat and I shop.
Oh,
So
God.
I know that's going to be a challenge. That's going to be a
To not
challenge
do
for me,
it.
right?
Yes.
And that's stressing me out. You know what
Well,
I'm
I've
saying?
already told myself I am not allowed to buy any more clothes if they're not workout clothes until I successfully lose
Well,
a
I'll
certain
tell
amount
you-
of weight.
I'll tell you what I did do in preparation for this. There's this one particular dress that I like. Okay, and I love this dress. And the last time I lost weight and everything, I was able to get into it. I can still get into the dress, but it's a little bit tight. So what I did was I have the dress out, and that's my inspiration. I'm determined to get back into this dress because I
Cherise.
just love this dress. No.
But I have like 4 of those.
Oh.
I have like 4 outfits that I want to.
Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. But you can let that be your inspiration. To,
Yeah, how many times am I
you
going to
know,
do that though? Like, really? That's
well,
why I can't
unless
buy
you want to buy
anything.
new clothes.
No,
And
I'm
sorry,
not.
I don't want to buy clothes that's bigger than what I am
I'm
already.
not. I'm not doing that. I'm
No,
not
that's what
doing
I'm
that.
saying.
So, like you said, I could this one particular dress I haven't worn it yet. It is so nice. It's strapless and it got a huge split on the side.
Uh-oh.
Girl, bye.
Mm-mm.
It gets on,
Mm-mm.
but I can't go nowhere in it.
That's what
So,
from the closet to the bed. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Not even. Just
yeah.
turn around.
just
Just
Girl.
turn around.
so
I'm
I'm gonna get in that dress, and then I have this pink leather suit. Oh, I bought it last year for Easter. I can't wear it.
Nice.
Can't fit it. But I
But
will.
you will.
But I will.
There you go. You will. So like I said, this conversation is appropriate because
She's breathing over here, Michelle.
yeah, and I'm breathing
Hey.
because there's a lot of things right now. I don't have many outlets to disperse the stress. You know what I'm saying? And with having limited outlets to vent, to work it off and all like that, yeah, I can walk the 1.5 miles every day. I can, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not looking at going into no one's gym. With COVID,
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not trying to go in nobody's gym, so
It's
that makes
okay.
that
I
makes
just
it a
want you to
little
know.
bit more difficult because where in the gym there would be maybe that one other person there that you'll meet and you guys will work together or they'll cheer you on. At home, I'm by
There's
myself.
precautions in the gym. I've been since
Hmm.
COVID when they, were open and everything, and I was one of the people coughing because I have asthma and I hadn't been in the gym in so long that when I got on the treadmill, I forgot my water and I started to cough. And I was so embarrassed and I wouldn't leave. I would not leave that treadmill
You
because the
chased
person,
everybody out of there, didn't
girl,
you?
I thought I would. So I, the treadmill was an empty treadmill and then another guy.
Hmm.
And he was looking at me and I was like, "Sir, I am so sorry. I do not have COVID, but I have asthma and I'm
Right.
coughing because I'm back to
Right.
the gym the first day, and I didn't have any water. So I didn't even want to leave the treadmill to go get water because I'd be coughing all the way to the water. So I
Hmm.
had to ask my son, could you come give me some water? And he did. And as soon as I drank the water, I was fine. But they do have precautions in there and they do, have the wiping down of all the machines. You wipe it down or whatever. And
I
but
know. I'm scared.
yeah, you're scared.
I'm
Oh,
scared.
don't be scared.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But
Right.
Michelle, what
Yes.
what kind of what kind of suggestions or maybe tips could you offer for anyone? Because I know, we're laughing about our situations and all like that, but there may be someone who's watching tonight or listening tonight who may not be laughing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who might be really in a position where they don't have someone to talk to or someone that they
This
can
is
go
true.
to or how they can, work on that stress or alleviating that stress. What would you say to that person? What kind of what could you offer to them? What kind of advice, I'm sorry, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
What kind of
I
advice
yeah.
could you offer to
We
them?
wanna. Well, hold on a minute. That's my crew making all that noise in the background. Hey, girls. Okay. One. Um. What? So you said something earlier about you go to the doctor and sometimes even going to a doctor is a source of stress because of
Absolutely.
systemic racism in medicine. And doctors not believing us when we tell them these things that are going on in our bodies.
Mhm.
I think I mentioned this before when we spoke, is that if
Mhm.
somebody like Serena Williams, when she's in the middle of childbirth, tells her doc she feels some kind of way and they tell her, ah, get out of here, pretty much,
Mhm.
Mm.
then many of us feel we're not Serena. We don't have the notoriety. We don't have the money. So sometimes the glib thing to do would be to say, go to your doctor. No, because sometimes the doctors are not listening to us.
Right.
That's true.
That's true.
I need to, I want to reiterate what I said before. You said that they may not have a support group. They may not have. I don't know what to tell you. There has to be somebody that you can speak with.
Mhm.
There has to be, one, place that you can go that because I want to be about solutions. I don't want us to leave here feeling hopeless and I got
Absolutely.
all these stresses. I don't know what to do. There has to be some when many years ago when I lived in Philadelphia and I'm not a Philadelphian. I was transplanted. So I'm away from my family. I'm away from, everyone that I know.
Mhm.
So, and it sounds corny to say it, but I had to make community. I had to
Right.
make my own community because I didn't know anybody here. I had to, and it's not easy because I'm not really, I'm not very outgoing necessarily. I'm chatting with y'all because I'm on a computer screen right now.
Right.
But I'm not. I mean, I'm not the most outgoing, person. Once you get me going, I'm pretty chatty. I guess you know that now. But um, it's not easy for me to meet new people, and it's not easy for me to just have conversation right away. I'm very reticent about that sometimes. So
Mhm.
I'm not saying this is an easy thing to do, but we got to come out of ourselves, or we'll be these isolated, very ill. And who do we affect when we're like that? Our kids will suffer. If you
Right.
don't want to do it for yourself, do it for that little person that you have. Or if you don't
Right.
have a child, do it for your loved one or whoever is with you.
Mhm.
Right,
Because
right.
we have to seek solutions to these things. And the traditional things that people say, like go to your doctor, go to, we don't always have that option, or it doesn't always work for us.
And that's true. And that's true. And a lot of times, like you said, sometimes people just don't believe you. You know,
Right.
and many of us can't afford the psychologist. Many of us can't afford, you know, a counselor or something like that. I mean, it's so crazy because it's like when you look at the cycle, the cycle is I'm stressed. I need to talk to someone. But that
Who do I
someone
talk
wants to
to?
charge me money to
Hmm.
talk to them. But I don't even have money to buy food, or I might be getting evicted from my home, or they're coming to repossess my car. I just lost my job. The kids are home and I don't know what I'm going to do. And it's a vicious cycle
Yes, it
which
is.
which continues to cause stress. So the one thing that I've learned to do is I get on the phone with anybody I can. And that's not to say I tell everybody my business, but if I can get somebody that's close to me on the phone, I may not exactly come out and say, "Listen, I'm 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 teeter-tottering on an edge right now." But I just will engage in a conversation.
Hmm.
Something that'll change change my mood just for a moment.
Just for a moment. That's right.
Yeah, just for a moment. So I mean, one of the things that I would say is, if you sometimes you don't have to say anything, but you can say a lot by not saying anything.
Yeah.
You can say a lot by not saying anything. But just pick up a phone and don't feel any shame about saying, "Listen, I just need to talk for a minute. I just need to talk for a minute." Because sometimes all it takes is for that person to go, "Are you good?" And
That's
you
right.
may not even realize that it's there until someone goes, "Are you good?" And then you start to verbalize what it is that's bothering you, and then maybe that'll kind of help you, realize I can work this out.
Reach
You know,
out. What you're
Right.
saying is
exactly.
reach out to
And
somebody.
absolutely. I mean, those who, hey, whatever you can do to help relieve your stress, if it's a run, if it's a jog, if it's working out,
That's right.
if you like to cook. I like to bake. I like to
Yeah.
bake. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I'm telling you, there's not. I'm being honest. There's not a lot of things I like to do per se, but I
yeah,
am outgoing. I
yeah.
like to be out. This pandemic is killing my swerve.
And I get it.
I be wanting to be. I be wanting to be out. I like to dance, so
It's
I
like
do
you're
like
suffering from
that.
cabin
I
fever.
like to dance, and I like to. People don't think so because sometimes I get somewhere I might not dance, but it's not because I don't like to. I am usually the party starter.
Mm.
I like to
Oh,
sing. Can't sing, but I like to sing. So I do
okay.
it anyway. So it's
No
a lot.
judgment.
Please don't.
Listen, I now when I said I'm not very, like, I'm not that outgoing, it doesn't mean that I don't like to be out in the
No,
street. I
no, no.
do.
But I'm really
And
like,
that is killing me, not to be able just to go out and just
yeah,
like hang out and
yeah.
just be out.
I do talk to a lot of
So
people and
yes,
stuff like that, and it's hard. It's hard.
it
Yeah.
is.
I just want people to just kind of be mindful. Stress, it
It can kill. So
it
you really
yes,
have to take
it
care
It
of it.
can kill.
absolutely.
And so just, if you see signs of it, I mean, sometimes I know for me, I had physical pain from
Mm.
stress. Physical pain. like
Hmm.
incapacitated, sometimes could not move, lay up on the sofa or in the bed and just be laying there. But it wasn't, you know, there were times when it wasn't really anything physically wrong. It was all in my head. It was everything that I had to think about, everything I had to deal with, everything that I had to address. You know what I'm saying? And walking out of my door kind of gave me a breath of fresh air because going home made me think about all the things that I needed to face,
Right.
in my life. So,
But sis, let me just say, if it's in your head, it's going to at some point translate to something physical.
this is true.
That
This is
that
true.
doesn't just we're a whole being. We're not just this brain. We're not just these hands. Everything works in harmony under good conditions. So if something in one part of the body is jacked up, then
Absolutely.
chances are it's going to cause an impact, sometimes a domino effect
Right.
to the rest of your body,
Right.
Yeah.
which is how we started this conversation about stress.
Yes.
So it starts somewhere and it winds up everywhere. And we need to be, the operative word is mindful. Let me just say this real quickly
Sure.
about, I want to just revisit a comment about docs. And that is, if you have one of those docs, and all of us have had an experience, leave, find another one. Get word of mouth. Talk to people about who they see and
Right.
who they like. You don't have to be stuck with someone who's dismissive of you and who doesn't take what you have to say, seriously, or just not is not attentive. They blame it. I mean, I remember back in the day they used to blame it on the HMOs. Oh, the HMOs make me see, so many patients but that has become so deeply entrenched in the culture of medical care and
Healthcare. Yeah.
providers.
And that has
So if you have a doc that's not treating you right, leave.
yeah,
You have
and
every right to do that.
and being part of an HMO doesn't mean you have to be, excuse my language, an asshole. So,
Exactly. Hello.
with that being said, you know what I'm saying? You can be personable and you can
Absolutely.
still do your job in the same 20 minutes that they recommend you see your
You
patient.
And you
absolutely
can
can.
still be that patient who changes their doctor
Exactly.
in an
That's right.
HMO.
You know,
You can
so
do
That
that.
is right.
this is true.
Yeah.
Take your power back.
Yes.
Leave
Exactly.
that butthole and find you another.
Exactly.
Who's going to treat you properly? Who's going to give you respect? You deserve it.
That's
You're
right.
right. Well,
Thank
Michelle,
you.
I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight in the cafe. It was a pleasure.
It was fun.
It was
Thank you for
Yes,
fun.
having
and we
me.
hope to have you back again. I'm sure there's some other things that we're gonna have you back on. But
Okay.
Talk to
we are
us.
so happy that you were able to join us in the cafe tonight. You had something you wanted
I
to
just
add
wanted
before
to
we
let a
sign
few
off?
people know that we were thankful that they joined us today. I was personally going to thank Maddie. She joined us last week, and I did a shout out to a few people and
Oh.
left her out. So, Maddie, thanks for joining
Hey,
us.
Maddie.
Tanya, Tawanda, Audrey, Joe Butter, Iris, Marky3, Maria, Tricky Lewis, Catherine, and Ashley.
And everybody, if there's anybody that we missed your name, we love you too. We thank you for joining us here in the cafe.
Yeah.
We will see you back here again next week where we will continue our women's health series.
Yeah.
For the month of January, going into our women's health challenge starting February 1st. Like I said, we'll let you know via our Facebook page, our Metamorphosis and our Cafe Conversations Facebook page, where you can register for the health
Great.
challenge. And we look forward to seeing you all live.
Yes, yes. that-
In the classes and everything. But for now, we're going to sign off. We have to close up the cafe, but we will see you all again next week at 6 o'clock
Yes.
back here.
Right.
Okay, and thanks again, Michelle. We love you.
Thank you,
We'll be
Michelle.
talking to
you
Thank you.
soon.
Thank
Can
you.
I just say Medicare for all, medicine, health care for everybody.
That's
We
right. That's
deserve
it.
right.
We
We
need
deserve
it.
it. We worked for
Start
it.
pushing for it, folks.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
All
Take
right.
Love you
care.
guys.
Everyone,
Thank
have
you.
a good night.